Hello guys, going to be going over the Saturday, May 21st MLB PrizePicks slate. So we have quite a few games here for first inning runs. There actually are going to be some that could again be postponed. So the Rockies, but they're not on the board for today. The Cubs game potentially could get postponed as well. And I'm still going to give some plays for those, but obviously, if you do choose to place them, they could get DNP'd. First inning runs, the one that I have interest in is the Twins and Royals starting pitchers. That's going to be an under on first inning runs allowed. No runs allowed here. This game, it's going to be Joe Ryan against Brad Keller. Joe Ryan has been terrific. A very young, promising pitcher against Brad Keller, who it seems like he's been around for a bit of time, but he's actually pretty young still, and he's been really solid this year. The Twins, I don't know what they're doing with Byron Buxton. It seems like because he's been having some injury scares, they're trying to limit the games that he plays. They do have Carlos Correa back, but you look at the conditions for this game, it's a pretty low run total for both teams, 4.4, 3.8. You got cold weather, 51 degrees, it's overcast, and winds 13 miles blowing in. So all of that's going to help the pitcher. We saw what the Winds really could do with the Cubs today with just like 10 homers or something. Just crazy for that game. Obviously, different ballpark. Kansas City doesn't have the same wind impact, but you see double-digit wind speeds blowing in. That's going to help these two pitchers who have been both good this year. So I like the under on this one. And then now moving on to strikeouts. I do have two today. First one's going to be Alek Manoa, 5.5. I think this one's going to move up to 6, so get it while you can. I think Manoa just should be higher here. You look at his, first, he's a very good pitcher. He came into the league last year, was very good with pretty much everything. The Reds, not a good team. This game's going to be played in Toronto as opposed to Cincinnati, where that would be a much better hitter's ballpark. You got cold temperatures, winds blowing left to right. So not going to be too much of an effect for that. But Manoa, looking at his numbers, just a lot of great things here. A whole lot of red. K rate, 58th percentile. But the whiffs there, chase rate's really good as well. So, and then here as well, expected ERA, 2.41, higher than what his ERA is. But still, that is a very solid ERA. Top 10 percentile in the league. 29.5 hard hit percentage, just really low. That is top 10% as well. So very good. And then the matchup is terrific with Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they're striking out the 8th most against righties here at 24.3%. So just the matchup, the kind of pitcher that Manoa is. Really like the over. I think he can at least get the 6 strikeouts. Now the next one is going to be Michael Lorenzen, 3.5 strikeouts, targeting another pretty strikeout prone team in the A's. Oakland is 10th in strikeout rate. Well, tied for 9th actually with Detroit at 23.8, but they're just not a good team. WRC plus only at 72, so that also lessens the risk of him maybe not struggling, or rather struggling, and then getting taken out early or something like that. So I feel like someone, Lorenzen, who has been having some really solid starts, doesn't have the highest K rate. I think he's in the high teens. So that might not look that great, but the A's, again, they are pretty strikeout prone. They Lorenzen particularly at 17.3%, but he's been higher throughout his career, and he's had 7 strikeout games here. Nationals, Marlins, which that's pretty solid because those two teams really don't strike out a ton, especially the Nationals. So I like 3.5. I think this one can definitely get to 4. So liking Manoa and Lorenzen for strikeouts. And then now on to hitting fantasy scores. So they actually just added total home runs, so I'll take a look at that at the end. But as I said about the Cubs, so I put Contreras and Ian Happ, both of these guys, over. 6 for Contreras, 5 for Happ, both overs again. And that is because they're taking on, they're in a good spot, I think. Madison Bumgarner, he's not been an ace for years, but their projections are kind of priced to say that Bumgarner is still a good pitcher. And Bumgarner is pretty much just an average guy at this point in his career. I know his ERA is in the 2s, but his expected numbers are higher than that. He's honestly been getting kind of lucky. Like, nothing about that screams he's a good pitcher. He doesn't strike guys out. And he's also walking a lot more guys this year. So just, some troubles there for Bumgarner and the Cubs. You look at how they do against left-handed pitching, you would be surprised. Left-handed pitching, WRC plus, they are actually league average, 98 right there, or 100 is league average, but they rank 15th, right in the middle. So that's definitely a good sign to see. Contreras, he's a righty who hits lefties really well. Ian Happ, he used to be better as a left-handed hitter, but this year he's having a really great year against righties. It just depends on how or against lefties from the right-hand side. It just depends when the Cubs where they want to bat him. But the main concern here is the weather. But if this game goes, you run the risk of them, not playing a full game, and if it becomes an official game, then they're not going to get all their at-bats. So that is the worry. And really, fantasy score, I think they're better props in the other categories. That's why I'm not really liking the fantasy score category today, at least for right now. So, gonna go on to runs and RBIs, and there are a ton that I like here. Starting with Teoscar Hernandez. Hunter Green is the pitcher on the mound for the Reds today. And Teoscar, he's been back from injury for about 2 weeks now. Hunter Green, a fastball slider guy, just those two pitches for righties. Teoscar hits the fastball extremely well. Slider, definitely a little bit concerned, but Green, his bread and butter is the fastball. So I like Teoscar here, just having to provide protection for Vlad. He should be able to get some pitches to hit, probably most likely with guys on base, so increasing his opportunities to hit the over on this. And Hunter Green, again, just attacking him. I know Green had a great start last time out, but that was Pittsburgh. This is Toronto. Just a completely stacked offensive team. The next one, now this depends on what the Red Sox lineup is going to be. They're taking on Chris Flexen, not a good pitcher. Kike Hernandez has been pretty bad this year, but he's been still hitting leadoff. So if he continues to do that, I still would like the over. But it is going to be about Trevor Story. He's been hot the past 2 games. He's just homering every time. And I feel like the Red Sox are going to eventually want to move him back to the top of the order. And if he does, this will be my favorite play. But because we don't know that, I'm not going to say he's a lock quite yet. But of course, when the lineup is released, he could definitely turn into a lock and my favorite play of the slate. But just keep that in mind. Next is going to be Rhys Hoskins at 0.5. This one's a lean against Mitch White. White, he looks like to be an average kind of guy. Hoskins, the new leadoff hitter. So that's why I like Hoskins here. And then we're going to go to Nolan Arenado, 0.5 against Jose Quintana. Quintana's been pretty good this year, but this Cardinals team is full of righties that just absolutely rake against left-handed pitching. Cardinals first in against left-handed pitching, 142 WRC plus, just running away with it for the league. So all these Cardinals are in a terrific spot. The entire team is. That's why Arenado runs RBIs either one. He's just gonna be in one of the. He is in one of the better spots. Of course, Pittsburgh, the PNC Park is a little bit difficult to play in as a righty, particularly, but Arenado, he's been known to be a lefty masher. Like, his numbers are insane against lefties throughout his career. So, really like the over for this one. Should be hitting behind Paul Goldschmidt. They got Juan Yepes and Nolan Gorman now up. Just some really talented hitters. So, I like Arenado a lot. The next one is Randy Arozarena, 0.5 against Baltimore. So, he has also been someone who's been struggling this year, but he's been swinging the bat a lot better this past week. So I like it against Kyle Bradish of Baltimore. And the Rays do have a pretty healthy run total. I believe it's close to 5. Yeah, 4.8. And it's 88 degrees with 11 mile per hour winds blowing out. It's kind of to left center. So that's going to help righties like Arozarena. And just someone who also has speed. So that's going to be something that's definitely helps him to be able to score that run. And then next, Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, both of them overs as well. Houston, they're going to be taking on Texas here, and they're taking on John Gray, who is, I would say, probably an average, kind of to below average really now. But same thing. It's hot, winds blowing out double digits, helping more so righties, but Kyle Tucker has the power to go oppo, and we're taking him for runs and RBI. So not a home run here, but I like both of these guys. I've said it before, both of these dudes should have some better luck as the season goes on. Their numbers just show that their results haven't really reflected how well they've been hitting. So really like the over. Astros, they're supposed to be one of the better hitting teams. They got some of their dudes back. They should be running a full lineup. They actually rested Jordan Alvarez today. But 4.7 run total looks pretty good here. So like both of them for the overs. Now I'm going to go back and take a look at home runs. There are actually only 2. So I think they're both interesting actually, because you're targeting a very weak pitcher in Chris Flexen. And then also you get 4 batters here. And all 4 of these guys legit have power. So I need to look more into Flexen and John Gray's home run numbers, fly ball, home runs per 9. But I kind of like both of these for the overs at first look. But I'll update you guys on these for my Twitter. I'll post all my plays like usual with the locks. Hopefully we do have some locks for this slate. But I would say right now I'm probably going to lean towards Alex Manoa as my favorite play. 5.5. If it turns into 6, then I'll make it into a runs and RBIs guy. But depends on the lineups, depends on what other props we get, weather too. So I'll keep you guys updated on my Twitter. Link will be in the description below. And thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.